So I just was, listening to some information on student loan debt has now surpassed about $1.5 trillion. And we got to look at how this has happened. Now, I'm a little bit older, and in the 80s, when I graduated high school, when you wanted to get a loan, a student loan, you went to the bank. And bank sat down and asked you, how much money were you needing? What kind of degree did you want to get? And based on your degree, they would give you a loan, part of a loan, higher interest rate, lower interest rate. And what that did is it really prevented the students from getting a degree in something that was useless, that wasn't going to be productive. They actually helped you as a student make better decisions, or at least kept you from making an expensive, bad decision. And then in the 90s, the government took the student loan debt on. And there's a student loan program. And then what happened is an endless supply of money the colleges were able to tap into, and tuition rates just skyrocketed. And now we have $1.5 trillion in outstanding student loan debts, a bunch of kids with useless degrees, and they're trying to figure out how to pay it back. Now, you got to pay it back. You borrowed the money. That was the deal. It's not our fault you made bad decisions. That aside, over 90% of kids go to school on a student loan. Why does the government, at the very least, not go in and negotiate a lower rate for tuition like they do with doctors and hospitals and pharmaceuticals? That's a huge amount of buying power. You go to a college and say, look, if you want any student loan money, which nearly every college depends on, you're going to reduce your tuition by 30%, whatever it might be. That way, these kids can go in there and at least not get taken completely to the cleaners. Now, me personally, I'd rather see the student loan program be privatized again, put it back at the bank so banks can help kids, make better decisions on what degrees to get. And so, but that aside, if you agree, call your congressmen and women and say, look, why aren't you going and negotiating with colleges like you do doctors and hospitals? I mean, think about it. A heart surgeon has to take, say, a 30% cut for Medicare, Medicaid patients. But the professor that teaches medicine at a college isn't having to take a pay cut? That doesn't make sense to me. So, folks, let's try to help our youth out and reduce some of this debt on our back, which will eventually reduce the debt on them as well. And call your men and women in Congress and say, let's study this quickly. And if it makes sense, let's move forward. Let's get a better deal for the 90% of the kids that are going to school using taxpayer money. Sounds good. Thanks for watching.